You know what, according to me, is the most basic lesson of productivity? To focus on progress, not perfection. कुछ दिनों पहले ऑन माई इंस्टाग्राम इनसाइडर ज्ञान का जो इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल है उसमें मैंने पूछा था कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ videos would you like to see from me, and a lot of people mentioned self-help, productivity, motivation, those kind of videos. So this video is my attempt of doing exactly that. Also, shameless promo, if you're not following Insider Gyan on Instagram, please jaake follow karo. This is the handle name. Now, progress not perfection. This is not a term coined by me at all. It's a very popular saying on the internet, and I think it is from Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figure Outable, but I could be wrong. Maybe this term came way before that book as well. But when I read it for the first time, progress, not perfection, it just made so much sense to me. There are two schools of thoughts, okay? The old school of thought is that wait till you have the best version of your product or your solution before launching it or submitting it. But the new school of thought is that make something functional but quick and dirty, go ahead and launch it, put it out in the universe, see how it worked out, see what the mistakes were, where it was lacking, try to make those improvements in your current version and relaunch it in the next version. Keep doing this as many times as you have to, because this solves a very important purpose. Whoever is going to be using your product, you are going to be getting the feedback directly from them. Basically, don't wait for anything to be perfect, because perfectionism is honestly a myth. You can think something is perfect, but the other person may not. Also, you can think something is not as good, but it could be pretty perfect for the other person. How will you really know unless you have sent that thing or launched that thing out in the universe and you let the actual customers tell you about it? Let's talk a little bit about what holds back people from taking action, from making progress, and why people wait to be perfect. Perfectionism is a societal construct, okay? The society has sort of conditioned us to believe that if we are doing something, we should do it good, otherwise, we shouldn't do it at all. For example, if you're in school, you get appreciated for getting higher marks. Or top colleges give you admission only if you have excelled in your school or some kind of examination. Or maybe in your workplace, you would have done 99 things right on a deliverable, but maybe you have done one thing wrong and you will get shouted by your boss for it. ऑब्वियसली इन सब का नतीजा ये है कि हम लोगों को लगता है इफ वी आर नॉट गुड एट समथिंग वी शुड नॉट डू इट एट ऑल rather than being imperfect and continue doing it and learning from it. Because you never reach that level of perfectionism. तुम जितना perfect होते जाते हो तुम्हारे standards भी उतने ज़्यादा बढ़ते जाते हैं and you are never really able to cope up. You always feel like you are not good enough. So long time back, one day I sat and did some introspection that what is holding me back, right? Why am I not able to make progress, and why am I so focused on either making it big or not making it at all? And I came up with a few reasons, which I'm going to explain to you now. Number one is we tend to overthink things a lot. And why? Because, of course, we are afraid of the judgment that people will give us. Human beings are social, of course, and what other people think of them, it matters to them, which is why we just keep thinking and overthinking things before we are actually able to do something. Now, I think मुझे तुम्हें ये बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है that this is wrong at so many levels, and we should always consciously make an effort कि हम ये ना सोचें कि दूसरे लोग हमारे बारे में क्या सोचते हैं या how we compare to others, because every person is different and only competition for us should be with ourselves, and sometimes not even that. So first is the judgment of people, and second thing is sometimes we have that notion that when we are doing something, for example, we are launching a product for someone, or we are submitting a client deliverable, we always want to be the best. We want to do it with a bang. And we are so caught up in making that happen that in the process we lose a lot of time. And we fret over things which we have no idea whether it's an issue or not for the other person who the product is meant to be for. And the third reason I've noticed is sometimes we are so overwhelmed by the number of things that we have to do that we find ourselves stuck that, shuru kare to kahan se kare. I think what works best in that kind of a situation is just to make a quick and dirty list. Like write down all the things that we have to do and then start working on them jaldi jaldi. And if you look around you, you will find that a lot of successful people, a lot of successful startups, tech startups especially, follow this to the T and they do it so well. Let me explain a few concepts from technology actually. Some of you may know that before launching a full-blown tech product, companies always launch like an MVP, what they call as a minimum viable product, which is like a prototype or a beta version or like a testing version of a product, whatever you may want to call it. But the idea is it's a very functional one which meets the basic functions what the product is supposed to do. But over and above that, it doesn't have any frills. Then they see how customers are reacting to it, they learn from it and iterate. Then in their final version is where they would have all the features that the customers would have asked them for. And yeah, that's how they do it. Similarly, in tech product development, you would have heard this term of agile method of development versus waterfall method of development. Now, I'm not a tech expert, so don't quote me on any misreferences, but the idea behind agile and waterfall is also same. Agile is a much more preferred way these days of product development. So what the developers do is instead of focusing on building the entire product and then seeing how the customers are reacting to it or if it is working or not, they would build different small functional components of it. They'll keep testing each of those components with the customers, and whatever is not working out in the testing phase, they'll iterate and make their product better. Towards the end, they'll join all the components and then do like a system integrated testing or like a full-blown testing kind of sorts before releasing the actual bigger product into the market. Biggest benefit of the agile methodology is that it helps you identify any kind of issues with your smaller components very early on. Another big benefit of focusing on progress and not perfection is also that, when you have made some progress, it sort of motivates you to take more action. So in a way, you are taking continuous action throughout till you have achieved a particular goal in your life. Now, to make this real, let me give you an example from my own life, right? The mentorship program on Insider Gyan. If you are not aware of it, we have a mentorship program on Insider Gyan. To know more about it, you can either visit the website on the description box or the one that I'm going to leave on the link. But the point being that this mentorship program has been on my mind for over 2 years, I think. And somehow it seemed so big in my mind that I used to be intimidated that how will I be able to pull it off? And where should I start from? I really did not know. I wanted to make it big. I wanted to make it like a perfect mentorship program out there before launching it, which is why I never got to taking any action for 2 years. Then last year, lockdown May, I thought, बहुत हो गया यार, let's just do it. Like, let's just do something and we will learn from it. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या ही हो जाएगा? People will give me a lot of feedback, but that's only good because I'll be able to learn from it and make my offering better. So that's what I did. Lockdown ke time, I went on Wix.com. I just bought a website. I bought a domain name, put all the details that I could, like the bare minimum details that I could think of on the website. And one fine day, I just launched it. And I obviously used this YouTube channel to publicize it a little bit, but that was about it. I did not do much promotion otherwise at all. And to my surprise, just with that, right now, there have been over 50 people who have already availed the mentorship. And that brings me so much joy to firstly say that out loud on this channel, but also with every conversation, I am also learning something from it. With each mentorship program, I am also becoming more and more intelligent at this offering. Now I have a much better idea of what value I can bring to people based on the questions that I am asked. So the most important takeaway from this video for you is that if ever you feel stuck in life, if ever you feel like you are not able to take the first step towards your dream, if you fear people's judgment and that's what is stopping you from launching a product or a service, Stop right there. Stop overthinking. Take a step back, reevaluate this whole thing, make something quick and dirty, and just push it out into the universe and let the universe teach you. Thank me later.